I just have to show you my shirt, okay? Stand up. It says oh wait. It says paix sur la terre, which means peace on earth. Ah. I found this shirt just for fun at Nordstrom Rack, and it was just like, like $7. And I was like, I love that shirt. It says it's French. I love it. So I'm so happy you are here. I'm really just tickled pink about showing you how to get this like golden goddess look. I find the products to be absolutely stunning to work with. Some are drugstore, some are high-end. So you got a good mixture in here, and the techniques are really simple and straightforward. So if you are curious about how to get a beautiful, glowing, goldeny look here, then definitely keep watching. Okay, I'm excited. I'm kind of getting myself pumped up for this. Okay, so we're doing this golden bronzy look, so let's zoom in to the eyes because I always start with the eyes. Sorry guys, I didn't realize I hadn't started filming. So all I did was I just put some primer on my eyelids. This is the MAC Paint Pot in the shade Painterly. It's just that kind of pinky nude shade, and we're just putting this on so that it cancels out these veins, kind of gives us a clean canvas to work with, and it's going to help the eyeshadows have something to really stick to. I'm glad I noticed and that I didn't get too far in the process, you know what I'm saying. Today I'm going to go to my Makeup Geek eyeshadows. I just love these. These neutrals just work so well. I love them so much. So I'm going to use this one that I just pulled from this spot. It's called Beaches and Cream. I'm going to use an all over shadow brush. It's nice and fluffy, and it just covers my whole eyelid really quickly. So we're going to set this primer in place using this, and we'll see how that goes. See how neutral that is? So that shouldn't change the color of the eyeshadows that I'm going to put down afterwards. So the next neutral I'm going to go in with is this one. The camera changes the shade a little bit because the bright lights are on it, but I'm going to use this one. It's called, hold on, it's called Cocoa Bear. I'm going to take a large fluffy blending brush. Sorry, when I'm zoomed in, my camera seems to struggle to focus, and it really gets on my nerves. It wants to like focus on the perimeter of my face for some reason instead of like, you know, the center. So I tap my brush into the pan of the eyeshadow. I'm going to try and tap it off a little bit, and then I'm going to place it in the crease, and I'm going to lay that color down where I want it mostly. I'm just going to place it in the crease, and then once I've kind of got it where I want it, then I just buff it in and just soften the look, soften the edges. I do this circular motion if I'm kind of getting streaks. And then I do this if I want to soften edges. Okay, so we have Cocoa Bear blown out all over the eyes. Now we're going to go in with Bada Bing. See how it has the sparkle? It's really nice. I'm going to go in with a slightly more tapered brush. I just washed it last night, so it's pretty fluffy, but it's a lot smaller, if you can see that, sort of. And so now I'm going to stick to the outer edge here, the outer corner of the eyelid, and then we're going to go to the base of that crease there. So with Cocoa Bear, we went in here and all the way like that. And then with Bada Bing, we're going to stick to just the real crease there, and then the outer corner here. Yeah, it's super frayed. I don't love this one. I like the Morphe brushes a lot. Like, for example, I adore this one. But I've noticed that some of the other ones, it's a little hit and miss for me. I'm going to go to one of my oldies. It's a Sephora brush. It's just such a great brush. So this is laying that in a lot better. And then as I am softening that edge, that outer corner, I'm kind of dragging it out like this. I'm trying to get a triangular shape, you know, to help extend the eye. So I'm noticing the eyeshadow looks pretty skippy still. So I don't think setting the eye primer really helped that. I honestly feel like, although I adore my paint pot and I've been using it straight, like solid, just straight for a couple of years, I wonder if it's just kind of drying out on me, because it is old now, so it might just kind of be done. I don't know yet. We're smoked out. Now we're gonna put on the star of the show. I am so excited about this product. Oh man. This is from Tarte. It's called the Chrome Paint Shadow Pots. This is the shade Park Ave Princess, and it's just a beautiful gold. Like, holy cow. But the beauty of this is that it's so easy to use. So I've just swirled a little bit. Like, I'm telling you, you will buy one and you'll never need another one again, because you need to put so little on because the color payoff is so intense, so strong. So let's do it. Oh man. And I love how it just sticks in place. I wore this yesterday to church and I immediately thought, you know, this is just such a easy, beautiful look. You just smoke out a warm brown and then a dark brown, and you put this on a lid and that's kind of it. You just put a little bit of the same thing on the bottom and you're done. So I just thought, oh man, I gotta do this. I gotta get a beautiful golden look out. Once I had the majority of the product off of my finger and I placed it here, I then kind of pat it over the dark shadow to kind of marry the two and kind of fuse that edge. I'm taking my pinky and just softening that edge as well. This is only the second time I use it, so I'm noticing that, oh my gosh, you can like barely touch the pot, like barely. I'm talking like, oh, just like barely breathe on it, because if you put too much, it will flake a little bit because there's just so much darn pigment in there. Look at that. Gorgeous. It's a beautiful product. I think it was $22 and I did not bat an eyelid because I just love these kind of products so much. And I know, especially after playing with it, I'll never need another one again. Like $22 is nothing. Let's go ahead and do the eyebrows and the face, and then we'll finish the under eyes. I'm going to use my Anastasia Dipbrow Pomade in the shade Ash Brown. It's like the perfect shade for me. I'm going to use her tiny little angled brush. It's really, really nice and skinny. It works really well. Alright, so I did my eyebrows. They're not great today, but you know what? I'm moving on from them because I need to step away from trying to make things perfect and taking forever and then getting frustrated. So you know what? I'm sure everything will look good once it's all put together, so let's move on to the face. I'm going to put on a little bit of moisturizer. This is one I've been using for the winter. It's called MadeCera Cream. I think it is Korean skincare. I apologize if I'm getting that wrong, like that. This one has been great for the winter, but I'm finding that it's getting to be a little rich now that it's getting hotter here in California. I need a good go-to summer cream, and then I can use this for the winter. Oh, I love this one. It feels so rich when you put it on, but you also feel it kind of set and just makes your skin really plump. I really like it. I totally should have put that cream on first, because now I've like messed with the outer edges of my eyebrows a little bit, but I feel kind of like a mess today, you know? Kind of grumpy. I think it's that time. I'm going to use something different today. I'm going to use the YSL All Hours foundation in the shade Sand B40. I got this sample a long time ago and I haven't played with it, so I am just kind of like, I don't feel like using my usual stuff, so let's just try this. I'm just going to use the tip of a brush to dot this all over my face. I'm going to try and start with just a little bit, because I believe this is a higher coverage. I know a lot of people on YouTube like this. We're not doing anything really specific here. Then I'm going to take my full coverage foundation brush from Bobbi Brown. And I'm going to just press this in. It smells really good. Oh my goodness. It smells like a really yummy body wash. I find it really satisfying putting foundation on my nose, because you just put a dollop there and it just kind of covers the whole thing like instantly and it just looks better. I love covering up those bright red veins that I have. They're so unsightly. I put a little less on my forehead because that's not really where I have many sunspots or veins or anything, so I go really the lightest there, but then I add a little bit to my temples because I have pretty strong veins there. I just don't like the look of veins. That softens it. This is going on really nicely. It's just kind of smoothing in almost like a moisturizer, you know? It's just nice. So first impression, I like it. I like it. I think it's a pretty good match too. My neck is always pretty darn fair, but I think it's a pretty good match, especially to my undertone. Okay, then we're gonna conceal our under eyes with Tarte Shape Tape, and I just went and washed my Beauty blender. I wash it with hand soap every time I dampen it when I use it. Oh, and I'm using the shade Light Neutral, which is just a really, really great shade for moi. It's really good at concealing these under eyes of mine. I cover up these veins a little bit more. And my mosquito bite. I've always wanted to say that in one of my videos. A mosquito bite. It's a mosquito bite. You know what movie that's from, right? It's from My Big Fat Greek Wedding. So I like to let this concealer set in place a little bit under my eyes because I find that it just like looks so good under the eyes if I let it set a little bit. So I'm doing these little areas that are going to dry faster. And then just pounce and pounce with my Beauty blender. So I kind of go in this motion because I am blending out the concealer. Just kind of like how we do with eyeshadows, right? We're distributing the product where we want it. I'm going to use my Mercier Secret Brightening Powder to set my under eyes. Use my favorite brush to do that. It's by Sigma. It's the F35. It's just a really good shape to get under the eye. So I'm softening and increasing first my sponge, and then I'm just going to lightly glide this. Really lightly. Since this is a newer foundation to me, I don't really know how it behaves, but I'm going to set it in place because it is remaining slightly tacky, which is not a bad thing, but I'm going to use my Cover FX Perfect Setting Powder in the shade Translucent Light. I'm going to go in here with a fluffy brush and just kind of put a very light layer. Now our base is set, we're going to go in with some bronzer. This is my Bobbi Brown bronzer in the shade Medium. This just instantly warms me up a lot, so we're just going to go in with this one today. I always start with my cheekbones. Love adding color and definition there. I'm using a velvety soft stippling brush from Makeup Forever. I love these. They have these beautiful wooden handles. They're beautiful brushes. Thinking of doing a tutorial where I try and find the best product to fill in where I'm super sparse now from postpartum hair loss. See how fine that is? Ugh. There is a product, I think it's called Color Wow, I think. I might be getting that totally wrong. But it's $30 for one color, and you basically just place a powdered color to give the illusion that you don't have all that hair loss, which is a great idea. But it's like, okay, is that worth it? And is it that different from, like, say, an eyeshadow or something? So I I want to test that out. Maybe I should just get it and then review it and see if it's actually good for us women that experience postpartum hair loss, or for anyone that loses hair for any reason. It's not fun to lose your hair, so it'd be nice to have a good product to kind of fill that in. Even if I have no makeup on my face, my neck is just always lighter. So especially when I go in with makeup, I want to balance out my neck and warm it up a little bit. I'm gonna go in with my Laura Geller blush in the shade Pink Buttercream. Whoop. It's beautiful. It's such a neutral, good, like, it's a perfect nude pink. Even though I want to be bronzy everywhere, I want a slight flush of pink on my cheeks. So this is a really good one for that. I'm gonna go in with my Japonesque brush to do that. And I'm just gonna focus on the front of my cheeks here, kind of the top here as well. See if you kind of see how I'm placing the brush. And I love the sheen that these blushes have. I absolutely love these blushes so much. You get the perfect amount of color payoff. Color payoff? Yeah. You get enough where it doesn't take long to just whack it on there on your face if you're in a huge rush. But you can also build it, you know, like I feel like you have good control and the colors are so flattering. You have a little bit of sheen so they're not super dull. Whoops. You know, I think they're perfect. Alright, so I'm anxious to finish my under eyes, so let's just wrap those up and then we can come back and maybe add a little highlight and some lips. I'm going to use this fluffy bullet brush from Morphe, it's the E18, and I am going to grab that Cocoa Bear that we used to blow out the crease, and I'm going to just buff this really generously on the lower lash line. My daughter is trying to play as quietly as possible on the floor, so if you hear anything, that's her just wanting to be with me. I'm trying to wrap this up so I can just be done for the day. I fill in that area that I wiped off when I put my cream on. I should have put my cream on at the beginning. It's kind of stupid. Really like this fluffy bullet brush. It kind of just grabs my under eye really well. It's like the perfect shape. So then using the smaller version of that, this is the E36. It's just more pointy and tapered. It can be more precise. I'm going back in with that Bada Bing, the dark brown one. And I'm just going to stick to the outer corner here. And then I'm going to lightly drag that out and see if I can fill in that patchy spot without making it too dark. I think that's doing it. I'm using such a light hand here. I'm just marrying that outer corner with the under lash line, the lower lash line, whatever I'm saying. So you always kind of want that V shape with this kind of look. Grabbing the very end of the handle to have a really light hand, apply really light pressure. And I'm just kind of trying to buff it along here and here. And for a tiny little bit of pizzazz, I'm going to take my pinky and barely touch it in the pot. And I am going to just focus on the center of my lower lash line, and I'm just going to press that in place. So basically just below the iris. I just keep dipping back into the pot until it is the intensity that I want it to be. Okay, so it's time to throw on the lashes and just wrap up the eyes, and I'm going to throw on my Lily Lashes in Ash Comb, or K-Holm, I think I've been saying it wrong this whole time. Okay, so I threw on a little bit of mascara because I always forget to put it on before these nice mink lashes. You need to put the mascara on first so that you don't get the mascara on the mink lashes, so that you don't kind of gunk them up and minimize the amounts of times you can use them. So I just threw on the Marc Jacobs mascara. I love this stuff. I don't love putting mascara on first and then like working the lash around the lashes because they're lifted from the mascara, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. There. I love these lashes so much. They're so pretty. there, my little pretties. So as those totally set in the eyes, I'm going to tight line the under eye to just get rid of that fleshy flesh coming through. And I'm going to use my cute little Makeup Forever eyeliner. That's just a matte black. It just sticks to the lash line really well. Can you see that difference? I like it. Then we're going to throw some mascara on the bottom lashes. Okay, last but not least, we're going to add a little topping to our face. This is the Maybelline Master Chrome in the shade Molten Gold. I'm going to use another F35 from Sigma, but this is, see how it's sparkly? I use this one for my highlighting. It's a great shape for my cheekbones and everything like that, so I decided to just get another one, and then they had this limited edition one, and I thought, hey, that's perfect. I am just going to give my cheekbones a soft glow here. And then I'm going to highlight the rest of my face with this. I love the soft gold tone to this highlighter because I usually can't do golds because they're just too dark on my skin tone usually. So I love this one. I just feel like it's that perfect neutral gold. And it's just the creamiest formula without like being so creamy that it like emphasizes everything, you know? It just melts. It's so beautiful. I'm so impressed with it. It's less than $10. I love it so much. We're golden goddesses. Bronze goddesses, whatever. Let's throw on a lip really quick. I'm going to take off the stuff that's on my lips. Because, ew. So to keep in with these tones, I'm going to stick to my favorite nude liner. And this is from Urban Decay. It's in the shade Naked 2. I love it. It's a kind of a darker browny nude, but not too dark for my skin tone. Because a lot of them can be a little bit too brown and then just look not right. Okay, once I line the outer rim, I'm going to gradate from the corners. And then last but definitely not least, my favorite lip glosses. It's a Buxom lip gloss, and this is in the shade Celeste. Which one are these? They are the full-on lip polishes. So these are the ones that tingle. I love that. So if you already have full lips and you don't want to emphasize that, keep it just to the center in here. But if you have finer lips and you want them to look plumper, go to the very outer edge, you know? So although I love this gloss, I kind of wish it had golden flecks instead to keep with the look. So maybe what we'll do for fun is add a little bit of this to it and kind of note to self, I need more of a goldeny lip gloss. We'll see how this goes. I think as it's melting, even though it is pretty metallic, I kind of like it. I mean, this is so out there, so golden goddessy, why not just go the full shebang? Alrighty friends, this is it. This is our golden goddess look. I hope you really like it. I feel like it's actually pretty easy to throw together and it's so fun. So fun to just glow and bronze to the gods. And I just want to say one thought. So when I was kind of nitpicking about certain things like my eyebrows looking muddy at first or my eyeshadow getting patchy and stuff, it really does pay off to kind of take a step back and let some of these things go. And I say this, I'm speaking to myself because I'm a perfectionist to a fault, where it really just kind of keeps me back from just enjoying things or just getting things done or taking not taking forever to do something. So note to self, and maybe if you are like this too, take a step back and just say, you know what, I'm going to wait until the whole look is put together, no matter how much or little you're doing. Wait till it's all put together and then it looks cohesive, and then you don't have to worry about every single little thing looking so perfect, because once it's all done, it's really all meant to go together. There's hope for us perfectionists. Really hope you guys like this look, and I hope you will subscribe to my channel and join me next time. Take care.